last example on this lesson is this special right triangle, which we call the 30, 60, 90 right triangle. For obvious reasons, 30, 60, 90. Now, this is also a special right triangle because just like the last one we talked about, it has special patterns that hold every single time. This one also has two patterns that you're going to need to memorize. The first pattern comes from reflecting this triangle across. So I'm going to reflect this triangle like this, and here's why. If I reflect this 30, 60, 90 triangle, now I have a 60, 60, 60 triangle. This big one right here is 60, 60, 60. That means it's an equilateral triangle because if all three angles are the same, then all three sides are the same. So this side is the same as this side, which is the same as this side. So when you understand that, you can see this first pattern is that this side right here is always going to be half of this side right here. So this short red side is always going to be half of this longer side because that equilateral thing happens. So that's our first rule, is the smallest side is always half of the biggest side. And we can also go vice versa, that the biggest side is always twice as big as the smaller side. That's our first pattern. Now, the second pattern goes between this small side and this medium side. And this one also has a magic number, where if we're going from smaller to bigger, we're going to multiply, just like we did in the last video. If we go from bigger to smaller, we'll divide. But it's always by the same magic number of root 3. So if I'm going from this small side to this medium side, I'm going to multiply by root 3 to make that side bigger, because multiplying makes things bigger. If I want to go from this bigger side to this smaller side, then I would divide by that magic number root 3, because dividing makes things smaller. But either way, it's always that magic number root 3. Now, I always remember that because it's a 30, 60, 90. So that root 3 is the magic number for this one. So our second rule, to get from the smallest side to the, I'm going to call this the medium side because it's not the biggest, but it's still bigger. We multiply, and in parentheses, or divide, by root 3. So let's practice this one a little bit. Let's go into your assignment and look at number 1. So first off, let's do our reflection thing. So I'm going to reflect it across. So I can see that this y side is going to be half of this x side. However, I don't know either of those sides yet. So I need to do my root 3 rule first. So this is going to be root 3. Now let's think, I'm going from a bigger side to a smaller side. So to go smaller, I need to divide by root 3 because dividing makes things smaller. So I'm just going to take that side 8 and divide by root 3. And there we go. There's that side. Now remember, this side is half of this bigger side. Or we could think this bigger side is twice as big as this smaller side because of that reflection. So I can take that smaller side, 8 over root 3, and times it by 2. Because this orange side is going to be twice as big as this one. This I just multiply straight across, so I get 16 over root 3. And there's my answer. Okay, let's try number 2. Let's do our reflection thing again. Oops, wrong direction. There we go. So it looks like this V side is going to be half of this U side, but once again I don't know either of those, so I'm going to do my root 3 first. Well, I'm going from a bigger side to a smaller side, so I'm going to divide by my magic root 3, because dividing makes things smaller. So I'm going to take that side, 4 root 3, and divide by root 3. Now you'll notice my root 3's cancel. That's nice. So I just end up with 4. And now for this last side, this side is going to be twice as long as this side. So if this shorter side is 4, this longest side will be 8. Okay, let's do one more example as a class. I want you to try this one out on your own. I will draw in the reflected triangle for you so you can kind of see that. And then I want you to pause the video, try this one out on your own, and then come back and see how you did. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. So this side is going to be half as big as this one, or you could think of the orange one as twice as long as the red one. So I'm going to take the red one and times it by 2 because it needs to be twice as long. And then I just multiplied those 2's together to get 4. Then I also need this side. I'm going from a smaller side to a bigger side this time. So I'm going to multiply by root 3 because multiplying makes things bigger. So I take this number and I multiply by root 3. I put them under one root, so that's how I got this root 15. And now you should be able to do number 8 on your homework assignment. You also have 2 other problems for your in-class practice for homework. If you turn the page, you also need to do 17 and 18. But that should be it for 7.2.